DP World is one of the biggest ports in this region. It has 65 terminals across the world. You can imagine if at any given time we have around 650 diesel engine running. DP World is running 24 hours and the equipment need to be ready all the time.
This is rubber tire gantry which is using Delo 400. We have 123 units. Actually, we was planning how to minimize the downtime of the equipment. We decided to have a trial by Delo 400 to give a trial to see how we can increase the performance. We found out the oil, it can be obtained from 250 to 500 hours without any fault on the engine. We found that the part is still in an excellent condition.
We are here in Dubai inspecting a 16-litre Volvo engine that has operated for 24 hours a day, accumulating over 33,000 hours of operation in a rubber tyre gantry, lifting containers on and off ships in ambient temperatures up to 45 degrees C. This engine has used diesel fuel sulfur with 500 ppm and oil drains of 500 hours, using Delo 400 multigrade SAE 15W40.
Even Volvo recommended for us 250 hours. We doubled that one to 500 hours, which give us an extra performance. That's saving for us the manpower and the outage of the fleet and downtime.
We're now inspecting the camshaft and looking at each of the lobes, and each lobe is perfectly intact and just highly polished where the roller has gone over the cam lobe itself. The rollers are shown here. This is a ceramic roller with a steel pin. Each of the rollers are totally intact and no play between the rollers in the pin. Overall, this overhead system is in immaculate condition. We're now examining the 6 pistons from this engine, and the first thing we look at is the piston crown, and they are totally free of deposits, and that's a good indication we've had good oil consumption control. Top rings are free, good power control. The second ring and the oil ring are also free, so that's good oil consumption control. We also look at the lands and we see very minor piston deposits on the lands and on the crown, and on the undercrown it's totally clean. That indicates there's been good heat transfer characteristics between the piston and the oil. So these pistons are in excellent condition considering they've done 33,000 hours. In looking at the internal part of the liner, we see full crosshatch pattern indicating we've had excellent oil consumption control. We're now looking at the bearings from this engine. These are the main bearings, the unloaded side and the loaded side, and there is no copper exposure on these bearings. These mains are very good. Here are the connecting rod bearings, unloaded and the loaded side. On the loaded side we see about 3 bearings just at the edges where we see some minor copper exposure, but these connecting rod bearings are very good. And finally the cam bearings, and what we're seeing here, they're just highly polished there on the loaded side. These bearings are in excellent condition. The oil pan and the rocker cover are both extremely clean. That indicates we've had excellent soot dispersancy.
I really have a chance now to see the part of the engine, and they look really fantastic.
I worked on hundreds of engines on my career. This engine, after 33,000 working hours, using Delo 400 oil, it looks the internal components in a great condition.
After inspecting the parts from this engine, it is clear that the combination of the Volvo engine, good maintenance practice, And the use of Delo 400 multidrate has provided DP World the reliability to move freight through one of the world's largest and busiest ports.
Delo 400 helped my crane to go further.